Have you guys heard something like, for example, price earnings ratio? That's an example of a price multiples. These are financial ratios simple or otherwise that involve market price per share of a publicly traded company. Examples: price earnings ratio, which is equal to price per share divided by earnings per share, typically for a 12-month period. If that 12-month period is the trailing 12 months, this is called the trailing PE. If it involves the forthcoming 12 months, it is called the forwards PE. It's always a better idea, especially for firms that are showing growth, to use the forward one, because what happened in the past happened. That doesn't say anything, but forward PE basically says take the current price, divide it by the earnings that are expected over the next 12 months. If you have a firm that is not publicly traded and you want to value that firm using a price multiple, then first find one or more matching firms, which means firms that are in similar businesses, in a similar business. This part is kind of an art form. There's not going to be a perfect match. You know, if there's a perfect match, what's the point of having two different firms to begin with? You know, if you're starting a new enterprise, if there is already a firm that's doing pretty much what you're doing, and I don't think there's any reason for your business. But if it's in nature, it's doing something similar. There is a reason I looked at Atlanta Braves thingy. You know, one of you guys are thinking of a volleyball franchise, right? It's kind of a major league franchise. Yes, they're more established, sports is different, but at least it's in the ballpark. You know, if you're gonna do household services stuff, look at similar firms. Once you have such a firm or portfolio of firms, calculate the relevant ratio for that matching firms or portfolio. If you have more than one such firm, and value non-traded firm so that they have the same price multiple. Maybe with some discounts. It is not a rule, but kind of a current rule of thumb is if a firm is close to IPO, for example, and you want to attach a value, you make a valuation using price multiples, and let's say you found out it should be worth $1 billion. Add a 20% discount to that. That's kind of a rule of thumb practice in the market. But to apply such a discount, we need to come up with a valuation first. Let's start with valuation based on forward PE ratio. Okay. I don't have a non-publicly traded firm, but I'm going to use somewhat small firm. Let's say I want to value PLTR, which is Palantir Technologies, using NVIDIA and let's see, Microsoft as peers, right? Let's see how we would do that. First of all, let's get forward PE for NVIDIA. If you go to financeyahoo.com, as you know, NVIDIA does a lot of AI chips. They also provide some AI consulting services. They're not in the same business as Palantir, which is they provide AI data solutions. For example, they're very active in defense industry. They started some business with British National Health System. It would not be too surprising to me, especially if there's a new Republican president. They actually get some contracts using Medicare, Medicaid, what have you. Okay? Because those systems are horrible. I mean, systems, for example, databases of food stamps do not talk to databases of Medicare, okay? Or do not talk to databases of IRS. I gave in my 301 class as an example, I know somebody in Florida because I used to do their taxes. She has an autistic adult son, and U.S. government has services that pays the typically the family who takes care of such a disabled individual, that pays them money, because otherwise they have to put them in an institution, take care of it themselves. That costs even more money. And this person makes actually over $5,000 a month, and none of this is taxable, by the way. And the entity that makes these payments is part of Medicare. All right. I also happen to know this person applied and got food stamps and Medicaid. You know, Medicaid in Florida, you have to be below 100% of the poverty line. Obviously, she makes a lot more than that. But since none of that is on the income tax return, since those two systems do not talk to each other, she actually is able to get that. Is food stamp a lot of money? No. But, health insurance would be. And because of that, it costs the government a lot of money. If you had AI that had access to both databases, even though they don't talk to each other, it's not going to be too difficult for an even simple AI system to basically bring them together and immediately eliminate those cases. It would save billions and billions of dollars a year. Over 10 years, I would not be surprised if it's saved more than $300-400 billion. So there is value to these things. Obviously, there is no direct comparison firms, but at least we have firms that is involved in AI somehow. As you know, Microsoft is in the AI business using ChatGPT. They're also a software company. So we're going to use them as companies that Palantir should be aspiring in terms of their multiples. Again, this part is an art form. Use what firms that you use as comparison. There is no hard and fast, okay, here's the algorithm, here's the firm. There is no such thing. You kind of make your best value judgment and you go from there. Okay, if you look at the statistics, we're going to find out a forward PE of 2907. For Microsoft, I will also need market cap